In this episode and the following ones, we will discuss the practical remedies that work. You might have heard that gems and stones increase the energy of planets and strengthen them. You may have also met various preachers advocating practices like feeding animals, pouring milk, donating oil, visiting temples, doing mantras and sacrifices, and several tricks and tantras. But believe me, none of these work. The soul is given a chance to either suffer past life's karmic deeds or do good to all the people we have wronged in our previous births to mitigate the karmic debts. A soul carries with it the imprints of past accumulated karmas, both good and bad, which influence the current life. These imprints, known as samskaras, are firmly entrenched in the subtle body, which includes the mind, intelligence, and ego. The position of planets in a person's birth chart is a reflection of the karmas of past lives, both positive and negative. When the energy of a planet is strongly placed in a birth chart, it indicates that the individual has accumulated good karmas in past lives, which are carried over into the present life. The positive effects of these good karmas manifest as good fortune, opportunities, and success in various areas of life, depending on the nature of the planet and its placement. Likewise, when a planet is weakly placed in a person's horoscope, it indicates that the individual has accumulated negative karma in past lives, which is carried over into the present life. The negative effects of these bad karmas manifest as challenges, obstacles, and difficulties in various areas of life, depending on the nature of the planet. In Vedic astrology, the weak or afflicted planets in a person's birth chart reflect the negative karmas accumulated in past lives, especially the bad deeds we had done in the past to the relatives represented by the planets. For example, a weak or afflicted moon, the karaka of mother, indicates that the individual has accumulated negative karmas related to their relationship with their mother in past lives. If any of the planets is weak and afflicted in a birth chart, it implies that we have been cruel, cheated, or have treated the relatives symbolized by the weak planets. You are bestowed with life to repay the karmic debts you owe to the concerned relatives. The only and the most effective and powerful remedy is to take good care of the relatives represented by the weak and afflicted planets. Even if they are rude to you, you must serve them no matter how much you will suffer. Vedic astrology follows the lunar system. The moon plays a central role, and I believe it is the most important planet as it governs the mind. Mind is a significant factor because it is the interface between the soul and the material world. Even if you do not have profound knowledge of Vedic astrology analysis, you can easily identify a weak moon by simply observing yourself or someone close to you. Moon rules all that you can think. A person's mental disposition reflects the state of the moon in a birth chart. A weak moon implies a weak mental disposition. The person suffers from emotional imbalance, they are easily overwhelmed, have no control over mood swings, and talk without thinking. They give in to crying without any particular reason. Either they are highly emotional, lacking the ability to contain them, or they have no emotions and sympathy at all. All kinds of emotions are generated in the mind and are controlled by moon. Such people are full of suppressed anger with momentary but uncontrolled outbursts. They fall easily under others' influence, they don't have a mind of their own. Their facial expression is always tired, sad, and grieving. They are unable to raise their voice even when they are being exploited to the extremes. They are constantly bullied. They find it hard to concentrate and don't feel like doing anything. Their attention span is very short. Either they are mostly lost in pointless thoughts or are under the grip of negative feelings. If you find these characteristics in yourselves or others, the moon is weak. A weak moon soils your entire life and one has to endure extreme suffering. Now let us discuss why a moon becomes weak in a chart. In Vedic astrology, the moon represents your mother and signifies the emotional and nurturing aspects of life. The placement and strength of the moon in the horoscope indicate the nature of one's relationship with their mother and the impact it has on their emotional state. If someone has been cruel to their mother and disrespected, hurt, and treated her badly in past lives, the moon in their current horoscope will be weak or afflicted. This is because the actions of past lives create a karmic debt that must be repaid in the present life. When someone has mistreated their mother in the past, it creates negative karma that affects their current life, particularly in the area of emotional stability and mental well-being. Now that your soul has been given a chance, please treat your mother well. Never talk back to her. Don't ever shout at her. Always keep in mind that your bitter words or actions should not bring tears to your mother's eyes. Remember that you have to pay the karmic debts of the evil deeds you had incurred in your past lives. Take good care of her even if she is rude, irritating, always angry, sick, or a lousy and mean person. Friends, believe me, if your moon is afflicted, there is no other remedy. If you do not start taking these remedial actions right away, you will continue to suffer a miserable life in deep agony. If you are unlucky and have lost your mother, serve some elderly lady relative or not and make it your prime job to bring her joy. But if you are lucky and have a mother, get going and give her the best world you can. And you will start seeing the changes in your life as your natal moon gains energy.